The air in the stadium was thick. It was a blanket of heat hope. Thousands of eyes were fixed on the curve of the track. 8 women settled into their blocks. The silence was a heavy thing. You could feel it in your chest. Then, the gun cracked. A burst of raw power. A blur of color motion. Veronica Campbell was in lane 4. Her face was a mask of pure focus. Her arms pumped like pistons. Her legs ate up the red track. She was a force of nature, a storm moving too fast to see. She came off the turn. A slight lead, but the others were close. So close. You could hear the crowd's breath catch. It was a collective gasp, a single sound from a sea of people. Her story did not start in a grand stadium. It started in a small town, a place called Clarkstown in Trelawney, Jamaica. This was a place of simple homes, a place of dirt roads and big dreams. Veronica was one of 10 children. Her mother was Cecil Campbell. Her father was Hubert Campbell. Life was not easy, but it was full of love. It was full of lessons. They did not have much, but they had each other. They had faith. And in the warm Jamaican sun, a seed of greatness was planted. She ran everywhere. She ran to the store. She ran to school. She ran for the joy of it. Running was not a sport yet. It was just a way of moving, a way of being free. The dirt roads were her first track. Her bare feet knew the feel of the earth. The first time the world truly saw her was not at the Olympics. It was at the World Youth Championships. She was just a teenager, but she ran like a veteran. She won the 100 meters. She made it look easy. It was a sign, a signal to the sprinting world. A new power was rising from Jamaica. She was not just fast. She had a champion's mind. She knew how to win when the pressure was on. This was her breakthrough moment. Veronica Campbell became more than a local hero. She became an international contender. From there, the path led to bigger stages. She earned a scholarship to Barton County Community College, then to the University of Arkansas. This was a new world. Structured training, high-tech facilities. She had to adapt. She had to learn. She missed her home. She missed the food. She missed the sounds of Jamaica. But she was on a mission. She worked harder than anyone. She soaked up every piece of knowledge from her coaches. She was building herself into a weapon. Her talent was refined. Her raw speed was molded into perfect technique. She became a student of the sport. She studied her rivals. She studied herself. Every practice was a chance to get better. Every race was a lesson. She won NCAA titles. She dominated the college circuit. But her eyes were on a bigger prize. The Olympic Games. The year 2004. Athens, Greece. The Olympic Games. This was the moment. The culmination of a lifetime of running. Veronica stood on the podium. A bronze medal from the 100 meters was already hers. A great achievement. But she wanted more. The 200-meter final was her race. The gun fired. She exploded from the blocks. She ran the curve of her life. She powered down the straightaway. She crossed the line first. Olympic champion. The first Jamaican woman to win that title in 28 years. Gold. It was heavy. It was beautiful. That was only the beginning. 4 years later. Beijing, 2008. The pressure was immense. Could she do it again? The whole world was watching. She was the defending champion. She had a target on her back. She ran with the heart of a lion. She defended her 200-meter title. She became only the second woman in history to win the Olympic 200 meters twice in a row. Another gold medal. Another moment of glory for her and for Jamaica. Her place in history was secure. Sprinting looks simple, run fast. But it is an art, a science, and Veronica was a master artist. Her technique was a thing of beauty. It was built on power. Her start was not always the fastest. She was not a small sprinter who shot out of the blocks. She was strong. Her strength was in the middle of the race, the drive phase. This is where she would build her speed. Her powerful legs would churn. She would rise up slowly, gaining momentum with every single step. Her greatest weapon was her top-end speed. Once she was fully upright and running, she was nearly impossible to beat, especially in the 200 meters. The curve was her canvas. She ran it with incredible efficiency. She maintained her speed all the way through the turn. When she hit the final 100 meters, she would find another gear. This was her signature, the ability to finish stronger than anyone else, to hold her form, to hold her speed when others were tiring. This was the mark of her greatness. Training was the secret. There were no shortcuts. It was grueling work, day after day, rain or shine. The work was done far away from the cheering crowds. It was done on quiet tracks, in empty weight rooms. It was endless drills, repetitions, pushing her body to its absolute limit, then pushing it further. Her work ethic was legendary. Coaches spoke of her discipline, her focus. She treated her body like a finely tuned engine. Every detail mattered: diet, rest, recovery. She understood the mental side of the sport. Sprinting is a lonely event. It is just you and the clock, you and the runners next to you. The pressure can break you. But Veronica was mentally tough. She had a quiet confidence, a belief in her training, a belief in herself. You have to be confident in yourself, and you have to be confident in your ability, she once said. This mental fortitude was as important as her physical speed. It was the armor she wore into every battle on the track. No career is without its valleys. The path to greatness is never smooth. Veronica faced her share of challenges. Injuries are the shadow that follows every athlete. A pulled muscle, a strained tendon. These small things can derail a whole season. They test an athlete's patience. They test their will to continue. Veronica had to fight through injuries. She had to spend time in physical therapy. She had to watch from the sidelines while others competed. These were the hard times. The times that tested her love for the sport. There were also heartbreaking losses. Races where she was the favorite but came up short. A false start. A dip at the line that was just a bit too late. These moments are painful. They can fill a runner with doubt. She lost major finals by the smallest of margins, 1/100th of a second, the blink of an eye. To come back from a loss like that takes incredible strength. It takes the ability to learn from defeat, to use it as fuel. Veronica always came back stronger. She was a fighter. Defeat did not define her. It refined her. Controversy also touched her career. In 2013, she faced a doping allegation that was later overturned. The Court of Arbitration for Sport cleared her completely. They found that the collection procedures were not followed correctly. It was a stressful and difficult period. Her name was questioned, her legacy was threatened, but she handled it with grace and dignity. She maintained her innocence, and she was vindicated. The experience showed her resilience. It showed the strength of her character off the track. These setbacks make her achievements even more impressive. They show that she was not a machine. She was a human being, a person who had to overcome obstacles just like everyone else. Her comebacks were a powerful message, a message of perseverance, a message that you can fall down and get back up, that you can face adversity and still triumph. Her journey was not just about winning. It was about enduring. It was about the strength it takes to carry the weight of the race year after year. Veronica Campbell Brown is more than a collection of medals. She is a cornerstone of Jamaica's sprinting legacy. Her success helped build a dynasty. She was part of a golden era, alongside athletes like Usain Bolt, Asafa Powell, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. They put Jamaican track and field on top of the world. They made a small island nation a global superpower in sprinting. Veronica was a leader in this movement. She was the queen to Bolt's king. She inspired a generation. Young girls in Jamaica and all over the world saw her run. They saw her win. They saw her carry the Jamaican flag with pride. She showed them what was possible. She made them dream of running on an Olympic track. Her nickname VCB became a household name. She was a role model. She was proof that with hard work and determination, a girl from a small town could conquer the world. Her influence goes far beyond her own race times. She helped create a culture of winning. Success breeds success. When young Jamaican athletes saw VCB winning gold medals, they believed they could too. It raised the bar for everyone. It created an expectation of excellence. The National High School Championships in Jamaica, known as Champs, became a breeding ground for future Olympians. They all wanted to be the next VCB. Her presence elevated the entire sport in her home country. She was a mentor and a guide, even from a distance. Her legacy is written in the history books, but it is also written in the hearts of the Jamaican people. She represents the spirit of the nation, hardworking, resilient, proud. She never forgot where she came from. She always represented her country with honor and grace. A sprinter's career is short. The fire burns intensely, but it cannot burn forever. Veronica Campbell Brown knew this. She prepared for a life beyond the finish line. Even while she was competing, she was thinking about the future. She earned her university degree. She understood the importance of education. She was not just an athlete. She was a businesswoman. She was a philanthropist. She was a leader. Her transition from the track to her next chapter was as graceful as her running form. She started a foundation, the VCB Foundation. Its mission is to help young women in Jamaica, to provide scholarships for education, to mentor them, to give them the tools to succeed in life, not just in sports. She wanted to give back to the community that had given her so much. She uses her platform to make a real difference. This work is a different kind of victory. It does not come with a gold medal, but it is just as valuable. It is a legacy of empowerment. Now she is a coach. She shares her vast knowledge with the next generation of athletes. She stands on the side of the track with a stopwatch in her hand. Her eyes are just as focused as they were in the starting blocks. She teaches technique. She preaches discipline. She teaches them how to be champions, how to handle pressure, how to overcome setbacks. Who better to learn from than one of the greatest of all time? Her athletes are learning from a living legend. Her life today is full. She is a wife. She is a mother. She is a mentor. She is a guide. She still follows the sport closely. Her voice is a respected one in the track and field community. She has not faded away. She has simply found new ways to contribute, new ways to win. Her work now ensures that her impact will be felt for generations to come. The lessons she learned on her journey from Trelawney to the Olympic podium are now being passed on. Her race is not over. It has just entered a new lap. Veronica Campbell Brown's story is a simple one. It is a story of talent. It is a story of hard work. It is a story of a girl from a small place who achieved big things. She ruled the world of sprinting. For more than a decade, she did it with power, grace, and an unbreakable will. Her name is etched alongside the greatest runners in history. Her cabinet of medals is proof of her dominance. She was a champion in every sense of the word, a true queen of the track. Her legacy is more than just times and titles. It is about inspiration, about showing what is possible. She carried the hopes of a nation on her shoulders and never buckled under the weight. She represented Jamaica with a fierce pride every time she stepped on the track. She was a leader of a golden generation that made a small island the center of the sprinting universe. Her influence is seen today in the young runners who follow in her footsteps. The girl from Trelawney became a global icon, but she never lost the humility and determination that got her there. She faced challenges and overcame them. She won with class and lost with dignity. She built a career on the foundations of discipline and respect for her craft. She showed the world the heart of a Jamaican champion, a heart that refuses to quit, a heart that knows the value of the journey, not just the destination. Today, the roar of the crowd has faded. The starting guns are silent for her, but her impact remains. You can still feel it. It is in the dreams of a young girl running barefoot on a dirt road in Jamaica. It is in the focus of a young athlete settling into the blocks for her first big race. It is in the pride of a nation that will never forget her name. This was the moment, the one that defines a career, the one that lives forever. Veronica drove her knees higher. She dug deep. She found something extra, a reserve of strength that only champions have. The finish line was a promise. It was a destination she had seen in her dreams 1,000 times. The roar began to build. Her form was perfect. Head still, eyes forward. Each stride was a masterpiece of controlled violence. The other runners were shadows, They were ghosts chasing a legend. She could feel them. She could hear their desperate steps on the track behind her, but she would not be caught. Not today. Today was her day. The Jamaican flags in the stands waved wildly. They were a forest of green, black, and gold. They were a prayer for their queen, a prayer she was about to answer with every ounce of her being. The tape at the finish line snapped. She crossed it. A fraction of a second was the difference, but it was enough. It was everything. Her arms shot into the air. A cry of victory tore from her throat. The crowd erupted. It was a sound of pure joy, a sound of national pride. Veronica Campbell had done it again. She had won. She had conquered the world on that small strip of track. She was more than a runner. She was a symbol. She was Jamaica. She was a champion.